deadline to submit a review. And I was working on that, and then they came the message and the motivational quote. The young stars, the scholars, they are here and they want to listen to me. Now, what do you want to listen? Not a version of course. What do you want to listen? You want to listen about research. It means you decide to be a crown of creation. Excellent. Not first for the sound. That means now you want to do an ibadat which has few ajr. Ibadat, 1 minute of thinking is better than 1,000 years of namaz. So you want to be curious. You want to reflect. You want to be better than before. You want to be better than this. A journey is a journey, not a race, remember. It's a journey where sometimes you are solo, sometimes you are with your paid partner, sometimes you have a journey on the bus, team effort. The thing is that you must be ready and flexible enough to mold yourself. The first thing is to comfort yourself, to gain that amazing kind of self-control, where things they come in your way and you either have to change your way or fight with the obstacle, conquer that. You have to be steely nerve and you have to show iron determination all the way in this journey. Why? Because you have to reach till the end. It's not the journey which is motorway journey. Smooth sailing. You try and you open your eyes when the goal is reached, the final destination. Here that is not the case. It's a very bumpy, jumpy, jerky kind of journey. Surprises, more surprises. Unexpected things happen. Now, when you start working on yourself, it means self-control, and then there are certain skills which you start developing. And very basic skill is communication skills, language skills, linguistic proficiency, listening, speaking, reading, writing. You already know that. You are blessed because you are multilingual. Elsewhere in the world now, monolingual communities and countries, they are spending billions of dollars on bilingual educational programs. Why? Because their population is suffering from psychological disorder because they can speak only one language. Now, how blessed is this country that by default you know many languages. When you were born, you had Punjabi. Yes. Then you learned Urdu. Then you had to learn Arabic because you have to be good Muslim. Then Persian is your pride. You learn Persian. The whole Qawmi Tarana, that is in Persian, except for one word. In the whole national anthem, there is only one word which is in Urdu. All the rest is in Persian. What is that one word? But you never think about that. Researchers, they think what nobody thinks. They see what everybody sees, but researchers think they bear a different thinking gap all the time. They think differently. They notice what is not noticed by others. So my common question is everyday kind of thing we face. National anthem is in Persian, only one word is Urdu. What is that one word?
Pakistan.
You can just repeat national anthem. पाक सरजमीन शाद That is Urdu. Rest till the end, it's all Persian. So you learn Persian also. You know Persian. But because you don't read, now that is the second thing. Researchers must read. Read, read, read. Very sad I become when I see non-Muslims listening to Allah Almighty. The first word spoken to us, that was Ikra. First word Allah Almighty sent in Quran, that was Ikra bismi rabbikal ladzi khalaq. Ikra. And what I see in the other nations, I've been working with them, native teachers, they were working under me in Saudi Arabia, 7 years of stay. I was the head of ELRT there. All nationalities, they were there. And my God, they would read. They would read and read. And you must have, noticed, even while walking or moving in the train, book is all the time open. They always have the book in their hand, all the time. And Muslim Ummah, even the one book which was revealed, that was Quran, the meaning of Quran is the book which must be read again and again and again. That is the meaning of Quran. And we make fun of that. We insult that. It is famously said that when you want Allah Almighty to talk to you, read Quran. And when you want to talk to Allah Almighty, go on Masala. You will be talking to Allah Almighty. But what is that talk where you say, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin, Rahmanin, Malikin, you don't know. My words flying up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thought, never to heaven go. We don't know Arabic. We don't know what we recite. And we don't get the message, divine message from Allah Almighty. Quran is such a miracle that Quran has 70 layers of meanings. 70 layers of meanings. Each time when you read Quran with understanding, it opens up. Next time you read, you get into the second layer, then third layer, then fourth layer, then fifth layer. You get into the depth of layers and you reach 70 layers. And each 70 layer has further 70 layers. And we don't even know the first layer of Quran. Why? Because we don't read it. We insert it. We insert it on Khatam Sharif, we insert it on Taraweeh, we insert it. I had a friend from Saudi Arabia and he said that you people in Taraweeh, in Pakistan and in India, you insult Quran. Whereas when we read it, believe you me that during recitation, Egyptians, Jordanians, Qatari, all the Arab world, when they would recite, in between they would start weeping. Because Quran would down upon them. We don't read. Read, and then you get into the center of the research. Your journey, research journey starts with reading. Your teacher was mentioning that you conducted literature review and you downloaded the material and you tried to, like a honeybee. Researcher is like honeybee. It's mentioned in Quran. Honeybee creates honey which has shifa, which is sweet. What is honeybee process? It goes from garden to garden, flower to flower, collects nectar, brings it to the hive, adds her saliva into it, and gradually there comes honey which is full of shifa. Researchers are like honeybee. Now when you read, what do? Honeybee. One idea from here, one flower. Flower is articles. Sometimes a big garden is there, you get a big book, very relevant. Now as researchers, you have to stand on the shoulder of giants, and as researcher, you have to add to the existing body of knowledge and wisdom. That is your ultimate aim. Now what you do, like honeybee, you get into the garden, the research, articles last 5 years. Title is there in front of you. Title frame, yes. Now that gives you direction. If title is striking, if it is researchable, doable, you have identified your area of research, converted that into the wonderful title. The title becomes a pushing force for you. The key words in the title, they are very crucial. Now those keywords, they will push you towards hunting for relevant articles, relevant papers, last 5 years. You download it. Then you get back to your title, and then you start doing the mind mapping on the title. Mind mapping process, it opens many rough ideas, many raw ideas. So you put them together and you craft your first, chapter, first section, that is introduction. Then there are subsections in the introduction. Now you have to be in touch with the supervisor, your teacher. You have to be in touch with the journal website. There are author guidelines. Some, journals, they demand no headings at all, just introduction. The headings are hidden inside, but they are there. Implicitly or explicitly, they are there. And what are those? Background of the study, scope and significance of the study, limitations and delimitation of the study, aim and objectives of the study, statement of the problem, research questions.
So I have a question. So we can study a lot of things about qualitative research, but what is the main goal of qualitative research?
You see, you are all qualitative. We are basically, by default, we are qualitative. Why? We deal with people. And people are people. People are very complex. Even one person, one individual is complete universe. Complete universe. You don't know. Science has proved it. The thread running towards the galaxies and the thread running inside, equal in length. Now when you deal with people, it means the journey is really very jumpy, jerky, journey where you feel or face unexpected things. Now you want to explore people, it means their brain, their thoughts, their ideology, their dogmas, their perceptions, their opinions, their belief system, their interaction with other people, their past, their present, their future plans, everything related to people. Because people are in the context. They use language related issues, English language related issues. That is your domain. You have narrowed down yourself. Natural sciences, quantitative people. Now that is not your task now. You are not to be scientists in that way. You have to be social scientists. So when you are qualitative, it means you are mother of natural sciences. Your discipline is the mother of natural sciences. Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Hippocrates, they were thinkers.
Sir, what are the strength and limitation of qualitative research?
You see, when you start qualitative research, you come up with your findings, or you come up with the research results. At that time, somebody says, "Why did you do the research? What are the implications? What is the contribution?" And you say, "I was not very well aware. Now I am more aware. My understanding level has gone very deep, very deep. I have become better thinker than before." You say, well, your research is not useful for other people. It is applicable to you or the limited range you have. Whereas your research must reach the other people, other contexts. Generalizability. And then you say, well, I have efficiency. Kressler talks about efficiency model. Both are deficient. Quantitative, there is deficiency. Qualitative, there are deficiencies. Now you are asked to overcome those deficiencies. Then you say, okay, I am Madam Qualitative. In my next door neighborhood, there is Madam Quantitative. You knock at the door and you say, "Madam Quantitative, I want to borrow some tools. Please give me some tools." And then you bring them in and you make it mixed methods research. Now again, there are, remember, during your defense or whenever you present something, why doesn't mean objection. That is typical, I've seen in Sialkot. Why they translate that into Punjabi Q. And then they say that, well, somebody is saying Q is quarreling with me or is my enemy. And instead response I've seen in the society. Tu Q the Mahalak? To come up with very furious kind of reaction. Why somebody asked that Q? Now you are different people. You are the cream of the nation, cream of the community. When somebody asks you Q, you must have a very polite, sophisticated, refined, convincing answer. So once you have the answer, then your choices, your decisions, they are all acceptable. But because you are beginning researchers, I really, I'm full of appreciation for BS, students. When I see your eyes, curious eyes, thirsty brains, and wanting to do research, I can't express my love for you. This self-chosen path, you have planned, you have accepted this, and it is willingly you have come on that track. So here our role becomes very crucial. Me as professor in the department, your teacher, Dr. Samara, HOD, my professional brother. He was my student in 2006 when he was a young kid, and I was a young man, energetic man. He is playing his role super wonderful. Dr. Samara, even when she was a lecturer, now mashallah, she's an assistant professor. Even at that time, I adopted her. I made her my spiritual daughter. And she would be there with me all the time, taking kawa, chai and all that, and discussing. And so you have wonderful people to monitor. Your teachers. And remember, there are some teachers who are not teachers. They are teachers. You as students, you have to transform a teacher into teacher. It's because of the learners learning their teacher teaches. I am here. Why I am here? Even if somebody gives me 1 lakh rupee, come and I hate academies and all that the things. Now why I am here? Because you are thirsty. So if a teacher is bad and you are good, you transform the teacher. Teacher comes late, you in a very polite way, madam, we were waiting for you. Madam, we were desperately waiting. Start waiting. And if the madam or sir speaks Punjabi, madam, Sir Saboor was saying that we are in English department. We have to think in English all the time. Madam, you are speaking Punjabi. It's not Punjabi department. Is it, madam? And madam would, gradually transform. No, madam is not addressing your queries or concerns or questions. Now you ask question and she will find the answer for you. Or she will push you or direct you to get the answer. She will open resources for you. You see, you are very good. You are our pride. You are our asset. And congratulations that you have chosen a track where angels and we live. Angels look up to you when you tread on this track of knowledge and wisdom. They salute you. They do sajda to you. They did sajda to Adam al-Islam. Why Adam al-Islam was given knowledge? You are on the track of knowledge. And then train and tune yourself. Now you have chosen a track. Adopted option you have taken. Now revisit your life cycle. 24 hours. Get up at the Hajj time. Sleep at Isha time. Listen to Allah Almighty. Allah says, when it is Isha, Allah says, sleep. Don't get into the gadgets and destroy your eyes and brain the whole night and coming in the morning with sleepy eyes and dizzy head and spoiling everything. The other class fellows and the teacher and at the Hajj time, start reading and start doing reflection and equip yourself with the skills which are required to be wonderful researchers, thinkers, philosophers, and qualitative. Just questions. You know why you are reluctant? Because you have to ask questions in English. And it means you are weak. That if you speak English and you say he did not went, people will laugh at me. If I make a mistake, people will say, well, look at her. A nursery level kind of mistake. But when you are strong, then you are not afraid of making mistakes. You damn care about the world. If you don't care for the world cares for you. Weak people, they spend all their life caring for the world. लोग क्या करें? जहेज, very necessary. बरादरी क्या करे? वलीमा, 10 dishes. लोग क्या करें? Worry. You have to buy a lot of things for everybody. लोग क्या करें? But you, to help with the people, what I think is right is right. Once you have conviction on that, then you will not, you would conquer yourself. And then you would speak English without any fear. You would make mistakes, and teachers love your mistakes and errors. Remember that. I define teacher. What is a teacher? A great teacher. A great teacher is the one who loves the errors committed by the learners. And what does a teacher do? She goes to school. Stupid you are. He and she always takes S or ES. You don't know that. You. And as a result, the innocent, angel-like students, they are butchered and they are thrown away for teachers. Teacher loves you, your soul. Because your connection with the teacher is spiritual connection. Now, the one who loves your soul is many times better than your even biological father. That kind of connection is to be established between the student and the teacher. So in next session when I come, don't be afraid of making errors. Whatever is there in your head, ask it. Ask questions. That is the quality of a researcher.
Sir, what type of data is used in qualitative research?
Qualitative data is the data which comes from the mouth of the people. Words.
Not in the form of numbers.
Not in the form of numbers. Stats, facts and figures. That is, quantitative people who take care of that. We deal with utterances, communication, linguistic expression, and human beings. Because what is human being? It's called Homo sapien. خلق الإنسان علمه البيان. Allah Almighty says in Surah Rahman, Allah taught us language. Now when you focus on the people, the first thing you focus is language use. Language related issues in the real world. There are so many issues scattered all around. Right now you are having an issue. There is a big professor, he's standing and he's delivering lecture all the time in English. Whereas we are thinking in Punjabi and then translating that into Urdu and then into English. It is something happening here in the class related to language use where your blessing is turning into curse. Multilingualism. L1 is becoming a barrier in your way. Why? Because you are loaded people right now. Lot of ideas. But they are in your mother tongue. Then you have another pressure. Okay, I can, because of practice, I can, give them words in Urdu because I was trained in the schools and I know how to read in some national language. But look at this professor. He wants questions only in English. Issue. It's an issue, right? So there is issue all around us. So the qualitative data is related to the people, surrounding the people, the issues faced by people. Issues which are internal or external. People. Cognitive issues, psychological issues, social issues, philosophical issues, existence, issues, past issues, present issues, possible future issues. All issues which are faced by human beings is our data.
So why do you prefer qualitative research over quantitative research?
You see, there are two people. Now, human beings, they are that is the masterpiece of Allah Almighty. He is Khalik, and even our fingertips, they differ from each other. From Adam al-Islam to the last human being, even our fingertips, prints, they don't match.
Yes.
We are different,
Yes.
right? Now, there are two people. One, he was born at a place where father is professor of statistics and mother is professor of computer science. Background matters. Now, when he grows or she grows, she says, I am super expert in computer skills and stats and mathematics. And somehow I entered into English studies for them, social sciences or humanities. But I take pride in what I have already. So he would prefer quantitative first. Then there is the other, he was born, mother is professor of psychology, father is professor of philosophy or English. Now, the upbringing, he comes into this. Now, this diversity in academia is welcomed. And our role as mentors, we encourage your own choices and decisions with strong justifications. So we can't say that why it is preferred. It's not preferred. Even the ones large-scale studies, when you deal with thesis, now you may start with quantitative, then you get into qualitative. You may say, well, I have got equal competence in both domains. I do it together, mixed methods. But research articles, for example, one issue, nature of the issue or problem pushes you to be only qualitative. So be only qualitative. And then you have, other kind of the nature of objective of your study and research question.